Alright, so today we will be talking about viruses. The first virus you see here is known as a bacteriophage, which, as the name suggests, infects bacteria. Even though I'll be drawing bacteriophages throughout this, just know that there are lots of different shapes and forms that viruses come in that can infect both eukaryotes and prokaryotes, like the one you see here. Something unique about viruses is that they only have genetic material, which could be DNA or RNA, but they don't have the typical proteins and organelles that most cells have. That's why viruses need a host cell. A host cell is just a cell that the virus can hijack or prey on to use the machinery it has. This here is our host cell, with the blue representing the host cell genome and the teal representing ribosomes, little machines that turn genetic material into proteins. First, the virus will find a host cell and dock on it. Now, there are two types of virus cycles, and the first one we'll be talking about is the lytic cycle. First thing is that the bacteriophage will inject its DNA into the host cell. This DNA will make its way to the ribosomes, and the host ribosomes will turn it into viral proteins. The cell doesn't know any better because it can't really tell the difference between viral DNA and its own DNA because they're basically identical in structure and function. These viral proteins then assemble into baby bacteriophages inside the cell, and they continue to do this until the cell explodes or lyses. Then all these baby viruses can leave the cell and enter the rest of the body, getting the opportunity to infect all those cells too. This whole process is kind of like the Trojan horse. Soldiers or viruses sneak into the host cell and then they reveal their true purpose, to cause harm and destruction. Now let's rewind this to talk about the other cycle that viruses could follow. This is the lysogenic cycle. Again, the bacteriophage will dock onto a host cell and it will inject its DNA into the host cell. Except this time, the viral DNA will incorporate into the host DNA, as seen with the blue and the orange. The new viral DNA is very sneaky, and it can hide in the host genome for generations. The host cell will continue to reproduce as normal until something happens that causes a dramatic shift. Any stressor, like UV, lack of nutrient availability, or even extreme pressure changes, can transition the virus into the lytic cycle. Using a complicated excision system, the viral DNA leaves the host genome and uses the host ribosomes to make its own proteins. These baby bacteriophages again get produced until there are enough to burst the cell and the virus can escape into the body to impact other cells. Now that we know how viruses work, let's talk about how they affect us. There are so many illnesses that can be attributed to viruses. For example, the common cold is caused by the rhinovirus family, the flu is caused by the influenza virus, and COVID is caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. If we do get a viral infection, there are antiviral medications that can be helpful. These ease symptoms, shorten the length of the viral infection, and lowers rates of transmission. These antivirals are only useful in very specific scenarios like with HIV or certain strains of influenza. But unfortunately, if a viral infection does take hold, in most cases it just has to run its course and the immune system can typically handle it. When we're sick with a viral infection, we're supposed to be getting lots of rest, staying hydrated, and eating nutritious foods to help our immune systems out. This is why we get the annual flu and COVID vaccines, to help train our immune systems to fight these viruses better when we do encounter them. Thanks for listening!